All Abby wants to do is hang out with her undead animatronic buddies.
Now, are these kids in what our Christian friends would call limbo or purgatory? Like they exist, but in like nothingness in the Phantom Zone?
Yeah. I mean,
so
Phantom Zone's from fucking Superman. That's where these kids go when they're inside these Toy Chicas and Freddy and Bonnie. They're inside fucking Phantom Zone with Zod.
They're just in that like rectangle. Like,
I'll get you, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Welcome to the Cinema Psycho Show, the madhouse for film freaks and film fans of all types. I'm your host, Brian Coddington, joined by my fellow co-host and filmmaker, John Woolscroft.
more like Five Nights at Fuck Me.
Oh, it's good to have you back, buddy. I mean, I know we did a week where I ran the whole thing solo, which I've never done before. Thank you. But it was missing something. It was missing John. It was missing that, because I was talking about fucking Dracula, and I'm like, this would be the perfect episode for John. But we got it done. We're here back now, and we're talking about a terrible movie that neither of us wanted to review, and that is going to be 2025. It came out last year, right?
Yes, yeah, the end of the year. Yeah,
end of the year. A sleeper hit, if you will. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. A movie, again, we didn't want to review this one, but we are, because fan of the show and my former student Gage recommended this on our Discord channel. And it's worth mentioning that, hey, I'll go to solo for this one. It's worth mentioning that if you join our Discord channel, you are more than willing to recommend to John and myself movies that we don't ever want to fucking watch. And we will watch them because we love you, the fans. We love you who listen to us, that we will lay on the hot coals of terrible cinema and watch them just for you.
or you could recommend movies we want to see. Like you could recommend Goonies. Yeah. I'll watch that.
Yeah, we'll watch Goonies. But if you say, hey, Brian and John, I want you to review this movie, and we clearly can look up on IMDb that it's like, a stinker. I won't review Melania though. But I'm just telling you, anyone else, I won't. No, I'm not gonna do it. I won't give it any publicity. But anyway, point is, join our Discord. You can go ahead and tell us a terrible film or a good film that you want us to review. It is worth mentioning, of course, if you like this podcast, if you've listened to us before, or maybe this is your first time, do me a favor and subscribe to us on your favorite podcast of choice. Go to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. You can click the button right there, and boom, you're subscribing to us on your favorite platform of choice. And of course, if you are watching us here on YouTube, hey, please do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, hit the little notification thing, give me a thumbs up, and even let us know, what did you think of Five Nights at Freddy's 2? And with that little bit of housekeeping out of the way, John, why did this movie have to happen?
I'd rather just talk about literally anything else. Like, look, I got a new background, everybody.
Yeah, John's got a new background. Yeah. Let's go solo. Let's not talk about anything else. Like, look at that. Look how cool his background is to our video audience.
I come with my own analog lower thirds.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. For our audio only audience, John is holding up what looks to be a 1980s style Professor R. Woolscroft thing.
Which technically works because that is my middle name, which is Robert.
Was that your dad's?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay.
That was outside his office store. Yeah. But no, this one, from what I've done with my research, because I just wanted to back up and say what we said when we did the first Five Nights at Freddy's. Brian and I both never played a second of these games. So that needs to be mentioned right out the gate, because there's a lot of fan service in these things. And obviously, you don't have to have read every Iron Man comic to go see an Iron Man movie, but it really helps if it's something based on a video game, especially a cult video game like this. And I had none of that going into the first movie, and then therefore this one. it was because of what I've looked up online that I know, oh, this is based on the second of this game or the third of this game, or some of the novelizations that have been written, because this is a huge franchise now. Um, that I had no idea, going into this, but apparently, because I only saw it, I didn't see it in the theaters, but apparently people that did said that like all the super fans, like when the Easter eggs would come up, would scream and cheer and shout, and like other people who maybe saw the first movie was a little entertained, like had no idea what these people were getting excited about. But you can also see in the numbers how this hasn't really helped this movie in terms of overall reviews, because most people that aren't super fans of the game were bored as hell and hated this thing, but those that loved it came out in droves. And I think the movie, because of its Blumhouse budget, made a crap ton of money, so we're going to see fan service number 3 coming out sooner rather than later.
I mean, I know that like fan service is such an interesting way of trying to generate kind of buzz for a movie. Like, I mean, every movie that is a part of a franchise does this sort of thing. I mean, Jesus Christ, John, like how many times have we seen Batman movies where we clearly know like there's a wink and a nod to people like us who are massive Batman fans, and we see something like, that clearly is pulled from the comic books, or it's pulled from another movie, like even The Flash, right? Like, even though that movie was fucking terrible, that thing was loaded with fan service to the 1989 Batman. Same deal.
Well, yeah, even really kitschy lines. Like I go back to the first X-Men movie. It came out in 2000, and my dad had never read any of the X-Men comics and never seen the cartoon. Obviously, he was an old man. And, when Wolverine's like, oh, these outfits are super uncomfortable, and I said, well, what would you prefer? Yellow spandex? And I'm pretty sure Cyclops winked. I couldn't tell because he had a visor on. But, it's just, and I and a bunch of other people started laughing in the audience. My dad just turned to me and he goes, is that a reference to the cartoon or something? I went, yeah.
Yeah. It's a reference to the 90s cartoon, like 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, I get the fan service, and I kind of assumed that there would be a second one, and I assumed that there was going to be multiples of these, because the FNAF, as they're called, the FNAF fans are rabid, and I get that. And it's especially like this franchise is built and rooted so much in internet culture that it's no surprise that it is as rabidly popular as it is. It's not rooted in traditional media. It's rooted in memes and indie game and YouTube videos, and all sorts of new media that's really made this thing become as big as it is.
And yeah, and I do feel that it is for a certain generation. Like, we talked about the Super Mario Brothers movie, and I felt like that one was littered with stuff from when we were very little to the most modern of Super Mario Brothers game and the Donkey Kong games and what have you, that there was a little bit of something there for everybody, where this movie is, well, both the first one and this one is really just for the people that are locked into this game. And while I don't think that you have to be a certain age to play games, I think like people our age, who are like around 40, like the bras are playing Call of Duty, you got the sports heads playing Madden, and you got like a guy like me playing The Last of Us. But really, it's, my friends' kids who are the Five Nights at Freddy fans,
Yeah.
So I'm like, way too old. Not that I couldn't pick it up, I'm a goddamn adult, but it wasn't targeted, to me. So I never got into this franchise. And as I mentioned, there's this huge lore beyond that. There's graphic novels and books. And apparently this movie was pulling from some of those graphic novels and books. So I feel like people that only know the games and played all of them, there might be things that they were even confused by.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the synopsis for this movie here, and then we're going to try real hard to dissect this plot.
Yeah.
Again, through the eyes of 40-year-old cis white men. Okay.
Talking about something, 14-year-old. Yeah.
So the synopsis here, straight from IMDb, is 1 year after the supernatural nightmare at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, Abby runs away to reconnect with her animatronic friends, uncovering dark secrets about the true origins of Freddy's and unleashing a horror hidden for decades.
Checks out.
Yeah, checks out. Maybe you shouldn't go hang out with haunted animatronics. I never understood that. It's okay, I'm a 14-year-old girl, and what do I do in my spare time? I go hang out with my dead friends who are basically their souls are trapped inside of animatronics.
It's like when Leia hung out with the Ewoks, but they're my friends.
But they're my friends. Your friends are literally in hell. Okay, it's hell. They want to go to. They want to go to the next plane of existence, and they're trapped in this nightmare Chuck E. Cheese knockoff.
And see, that was another thing. I had to watch a recap. I had to pause this movie and watch a recap of the first one because I'd forgotten most of it. And if the main character wasn't played by Pita Bread from Hunger Games, then
Pita Bread,
I wouldn't have that's the only reason I remembered even who he was. But the main female character, I'm like, oh, well, she must be from the first one. And I'm like, oh yeah, she was the daughter of William Atherton or whatever, and I should have
Atherton's the actor.
or what's
William Afton.
William Afton, yeah.
Atherton is the 80s always asshole actors from Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, and Die Hard, yeah.
And Die Hard, yeah.
And Die Hard too.
All right.
But yeah, so it was I even forgot most of the characters from the first one.
I forgot that she was in it too. I was like, who is she again? I'm like, oh, she was the female police officer who was actually William Afton's daughter, and she killed her dad.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. Yeah. Well, okay. All right. So picking up in this movie, it actually flashes back first to the 1980s because why not? And shows a flashback of the original Freddy's, because what we thought was the original Freddy's in the first movie is actually just a franchise. Kind of like, McDonald's. This was the OG McDonald's before the McDonald's brothers got swindled out of it by Ray Kroc. And what we had seen previously was just, one of Ray Kroc's golfing buddies who happened to open up a McDonald's, but only that's Freddy's Fazbear's. Yeah. And we're introduced to a little girl named Charlotte who is at a birthday party and kind of is not really feeling it and is just waiting for the Marionette animatronic on stage because that's her favorite. And while all this is going on, she notices that William Afton in his spring Bonnie suit is actually luring a boy away to murder him because that was apparently happening. And then sure enough, because it's the 1980s, at least that's what I'm blaming it on, Charlotte tries to warn every single parent in Freddy's that, hey, this kid's getting murdered. Maybe you should go do something. And if it wasn't the 80s, someone might actually do something, but it was the 80s. So they were more concerned about drinking beer, eating pizza, and completely ignoring this child's cries for help to the point where she rescues the kid, but gets stabbed by William and falls through a trapdoor and is just held up by the Marionette animatronic.
Which only in a horror movie like this would there be that thing, that Marionette that's supposed to be for the kids. It's
for the children.
It's like the Annabelle doll or Pennywise in the new It franchise.
Yeah.
Where it's no, this is clearly just supposed to be horrifying. No kid would be interested in that thing. They'd be kill it. Please kill it with fire.
Yes, they'd kill it with fire. We don't like this thing. But yeah, no, apparently the creepy Marionette animatronic is beloved, and it's not designed for kids.
It's from the game. This is another thing I've discovered in my research.
In your research. scholarly articles, right? Like that's totally what you've been to.
Just
Went
thank
to
God for people
EBSCO
on
to find
YouTube.
it.
Thank God for people on YouTube who've like, yeah, I'm obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'll fill you in on all the shit that you have no idea what's going on. But okay, I know it's necessary for the plot, but no kid likes the Marionette show. No, I've been to a lot of birthday parties at Chuck E. Cheese in my day, and everybody kind of tolerated like Chucky and his group of friends, like singing like their like little songs and stuff because you're in the birthday party area, eating cake, and you know the birthday boys opening the presents, and you couldn't wait to abandon the animatronic show so you could go play games and go into the filthy ball pit. You know, nobody cared about the goddamn show. And
No,
so the idea that one little girl's just waiting for it, like, all right, this is the most unbelievable thing based on a movie about children's souls possessing animatronics to murder people. This is the most unbelievable part.
Charlotte's supposed to be kind of the weird like kid who's like antisocial. So yeah, it kind of makes sense in the world of the movie that she just really, really loves the Marionette and can't wait for the Marionette to show up. And just so happens to see some murdering happening. I think what gets me is just like, it's again, it's the most 1980s thing to see a bunch of grown ass adults who are like completely writing off a child's like pleas for help. Like, oh, go do whatever. Like, I'm just enjoy yourself. Blah blah blah. It's like there's murdering happening right now. Like, I don't know if it's just a product of the time.
I think, well, yeah, they saw it as, okay, well, there's a lot of things in here to distract the kids while we get drunk, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like, drive our kids home drunk because it's 1982. This is like pre-Adam Walsh, so parents weren't scared yet, you know?
Well, I was even surprised. So, like, I think I mentioned this in the last time we reviewed Five Nights at Freddy's, that when I've taken my kids to like Chuck E. Cheese, I'm surprised at the amount of security that is present to just go to a Chuck E. Cheese. Like, you literally have to get stamped. And that stamp is like UV activated. So like whether you leave or not, you've got to all have matching stamps. But it, like, I kept thinking to myself, I'm like, back in my day, it was like Mad Max Thunderdome level shit. Right? There was no guard at the front door. There was no one making sure that you didn't wander off with someone else. It was pretty much utter chaos.
And my dad had the perfect workaround with us kids, is that he was obsessed with crossword puzzles. So he always seemed like the perfect dad because he would take us to like Chuck E. Cheese. We'd go and play, and he'd sit at the table and just do the crossword puzzle, just like completely invested in his puzzle. Like, somebody could have put me in a burlap sack right in front of the table, right in front of him, and he would have never looked up. He was so focused on that puzzle. So I can't believe I didn't get kidnapped. I guess I wasn't cute enough.
Yeah. But getting back to the movie, so we flash forward to present day, where apparently in the town where Abby and Mike live, Freddy Fazbear's murders and stuff has turned into big business because there's now FazFest. And yeah, commercialism at its greatest.
Which, did you find this odd? Because when you say modern day, it was 2002. So we're like 6-7 months like separated from 9/11.
Yeah. Did they say it was 2002?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't catch that one.
Because when I was watching, I was thinking like 1982. I'm like, these characters are going to be played by 30-year-olds. I turned to Christine, and they're supposed to be like 60 years old. But then I'm like, oh wait, they only jumped forward to 2002, so it's like 23 or 24 years ago. You know.
Yeah, but it's a little weird.
It's shortly after 9/11, but you know, we have the frivolity of Freddy weekends and
do you know of any like cons that show up because of murders, like specifically murders? Like, I know there's like true crime like podcast conventions and things like that I understand, but like I've never seen anyone like have a festival to say Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer or
Yeah.
Ed Gein. Like you don't hear about that. So when I hear in the beginning of this movie that's like, yes, those murders by that creepy fucker at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, a year later, we've decided to go full consumerism with it and make a whole festival which people flock to, dress up in costume, and attend.
I think if enough time has got, it has to be a shit ton of time has
This is a
gone by.
year.
Yeah, like something like the Lizzie Borden house or the Jack the Ripper tour, or going to
That's
see
different though.
the brick wall of the St. Valentine's Day massacre. So, that's 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago. Yeah, like a couple of years past. No, you're not going to
The
do that.
only thing I could think of, but even to this point, it's a little bit different, is like Salem, Massachusetts, when they have like witch stuff that shows up.
Yeah.
Like that I can kind of get. But even to that point, like it's because it's one, as you said, it's been hundreds of years. And on top of that, like the whole concept of witches in Salem has turned into such a pop culture thing where this is a year removed from figuring out that, oh yeah, the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza down the street, yeah, murders were happening there. But I think we're gonna, a year later, let's just erase the whole thing and just turn it into some consumerist bullshit.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah,
it'll be fine, no problem. Yeah. So on top of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza being a cultural icon now that people flock to, one group is a group of ghost hunters that are kind of killed off relatively quickly in this movie
because the producer said we need some jump scares.
Yeah. So we needed some jump scares early, and so this group of ghost hunters goes to the original restaurant, and where they're met by a security guard who's also named Mike, in which this movie tries to do a fake out. I don't know if you remember that. Like it did kind of fake out where one of the ghost hunters is named Lisa, is saying, "Hey, it's our security guard Mike," and we think that it's Peta, but it's not. It's some other random security guard at this dilapidated Freddy's. And it honestly feels like the security guard is trying to feed the animatronic souls, because that's exactly what happens.
No subtlety from this character. Yeah,
no.
He comes in literally polishing his mustache. Like,
yes, yeah.
He's like,
yes, souls for my animatronics. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just a security guard. They're like, "Are you Mike?" They're like, "Call me Michael." Zoom into him, and I'm like, I think he's a bad guy. I don't know.
Called me Michael McBad Guy. Yeah. So all of the ghost hunters get killed in very interesting PG-13 ways. That's one thing I did want to mention is the fact that all of these murders kind of happen, but there's never once a drop of blood shown. Did you notice that?
Their target audience is 12-year-olds.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But I'm like, okay, so a bunch of animatronics like eat someone in a river, and I forget how all of them died, but I know that one like should have blood, but there's no blood at all.
By the way, it's been what, 30 years? No, I'm sorry. 20 years since this place went under.
Yes.
And there's still water in that.
I mean, that
ferry thing. Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
that water's got to be filled with like so many gnarly things in there.
Like new viruses,
Well, one, the fact that there's still water in there is that shouldn't occur, because things naturally like freeze, thaw over and over again. Evaporation occurs,
Yeah.
Science. But yeah, so the marionette possesses Lisa, who controls the toy animatronics, because the marionette's kind of our main evil animatronic. And we realize that Marionette is actually Charlotte. Like, it is the ghost, the vengeful spirit of Charlotte is possessing the marionette. and killing off these people. We don't know why yet, though. But it's kind of our first, bloodthirsty moment in the movie. And then we cut to Abby. And Abby's school life, since surviving her, risk of death in the last movie, kind of sucks. Right? She has, I would argue, the worst science teacher I have ever seen
Newman.
in a movie. And I'm like, of course it's fucking Newman.
Yeah.
But yes, Newman, who, for those of us who are listening who are younger than myself and John, Wayne Knight, who played the role of Newman in Seinfeld, which I loved Seinfeld, not as a kid, but as like in a young adult, like I started to get into it. But he is an asshole in this movie too. He plays Mr. Berg, who a teacher's job should be like helping the student like succeed, but all Mr. Berg wants to do is just destroy Abby's chances of getting anywhere near the science fair because it might like wreck the credentials of the school.
Well, yeah, I choose to believe this is part of the universe of Jurassic Park. And Dennis Nedry did not die from, the spitter, the Dilophosaur. Like, he got out of the car.
Yeah,
and,
he did. He died from that. You don't think he died from that?
No. See, he got out of the car. He cleared out his eyes. He's like, oh, I can actually see all right. Not to be a science teacher. I don't know why I had to mention that. But I'm going to go and change my whole identity because I kind of fucked up this dinosaur park. I'm going to go to a small town and become a robotics teacher. And yeah, the rest is history. So I think this is just Dennis Nedry. So
you're saying that Five Nights at Freddy's 2 and Jurassic Park are in the same universe.
Same universe. Yeah.
So it's the same theory that like people have when it comes to like The Great Outdoors and Tommy Boy. Like, Have you heard that theory? It's the same thing. Where, like,
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dan Aykroyd's character in The Great Outdoors is actually
Callahan.
Yeah. Well, he's not Callahan. He's,
he
Zelensky.
Buy Callahan.
He wants to buy it. He's Ray Zelensky, the auto parts king. They're all connected. But the fact that Mr. Berg does everything to like really derail Abby is just kind of disgusting.
Well, she clearly shows signs that, it's not like she's trying to like glue a pickle and a battery together. It's like, no, she's actually making something out of robotics. Like, maybe, encourage the lady.
Maybe a little bit. At home, it's not any better. She's really upset because all Abby wants to do is hang out with her undead animatronic buddies. But Mike has kept telling her over and over again, oh, well, I will fix them one day. And he's not going to.
Now, are these kids in what our Christian friends would call limbo or purgatory? Are they just...
I'd call it hell, but sure. I mean, you want to call it, I'd say lost souls.
Yeah, like they exist, but in like nothingness in the phantom zone?
Yeah. I mean, so phantom zones from fucking Superman. That's where these kids go when they're inside these Toy Chicas and Freddy and Bonnie. They're inside the fucking Phantom Zone with Zod.
They're just in that like rectangle. Like, oh, get you, Callan!
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're so fucking nerds. Yeah, I mean, I would equate that they're just like they're trapped. Like they're trapped inside of these mechanical bodies, which are destroyed, by the way. So like they're just broken apart, unable to move. Mike being a dick is just like, nah, I don't want to repair them. I know what he's doing. He's afraid, and he's just trying to look out for his sister. I understand that. I also think like maybe after like all of the shit that happened, your next step should be getting your sister some therapy, like intensive therapy. Just a responsible thing, I mean, might actually make this a more interesting movie, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, like, you have to be honest with her, but so you have to. How are you like? This famous chain of children's pizzerias that went out of fashion 25 years ago. Well, the animatronics actually have possessed dead children from a murderer inside of them, and they're my friends. So I really want my brother to rebuild these robots so the souls that are captured in a horrific purgatory right now can come back and hang out with me, and we can play games like we used to. Before we killed the man that possessed all the souls inside of them to begin with, and it was in a giant bear costume. It's like, okay, I'm gonna just we're gonna look into Shady Groves for you.
Shady Grove.
Nice padded room, honey bunny.
But I'm just saying, like clearly all of that stuff though has affected Abby in a way that
she's fucked up.
she needs some help. And it seems to me like the responsible thing for Mike would be to do it. Now clearly I'm gonna get somebody who's going to comment on this video, or they're going to comment on the audio, and they're going to say, well, Brian, that's not what the movie's about. I get that. But here's the thing, though. I'm looking at this from the standpoint of, we were told last movie how irresponsible Mike is as a parental figure. And part of that is caring for the mental health of your sister / now adopted kid. That's part of being a parent. And that's a harder part than just making sure that they have a roof over their head and food in their bellies. So that's part of it.
Well, they make sure the state does, they check who they leave you with. Just because there is, a roof over the head and maybe a bit of pasta in the fridge doesn't mean that you should be raising a child. You could be, a crack addict and a violent sociopath. Maybe you shouldn't leave a kid there. They're gonna check on that.
Yeah. So one of the things that happens is that Abby escapes to Freddy's one night and kind of encounters a speak and spell, knockoff Freddy version that starts communicating to her. And she thinks that it's actually, her buddies, the ghost children inside the animatronics.
Gee, I thought it was the play phone from Poltergeist 2.
Could be that too. I was going with speak and spell.
Rip off. Yeah.
Rip off. I mean, whole thing's a rip off of Chuck E. Cheese, John. Okay, come on. You're really gonna quibble about that?
That was ours. There's Showbiz. I think
Showbiz Pizza
closer to Showbiz Pizza. Yeah, because there's was there what 3 to 5 of these franchises different. There's Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese, and 2 or 3 other ones depending on where you lived in the country. Yeah.
So anyway, she's got the speak and spell that starts communicating to her. All the while, Vanessa from the first movie is dealing with some trauma and some guilt.
As you
a lot
do.
of trauma and guilt, honestly. And another person who probably should be going to their local therapist every day. and not be a police officer with a gun.
Hey, look, just go and do a nice quick Italian dinner with the pita bread and getting finger banged in the back of a Chevy is all you need. You don't need therapy.
With pita bread. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, she's dealing with some trauma. She's having some really nasty dreams about her father. And it's nice because we do get to see Matthew Lillard in this movie again, even though he is in delusion ghost form.
Trauma
form. Yeah. So that's cool that he's in this for a little bit. Mike is trying to foster some kind of relationship with her, but not really helping. Really, it's not really working out for him.
Man, thank God she's hot, because then he could use the excuse oh, I want to help you because we're friends. No, you want to put your dick in crazy. That's what you want. You're not a good Samaritan. If she didn't look like that, you wouldn't want to help her.
I don't know. I mean, he generally seems to care about her, even though his demeanor does kind of immediately change the minute he finds out that Charlotte's friend was Vanessa.
Yeah.
Like, did you notice that? Like, the minute he realizes, because he starts to investigate what happened at the original Freddy's and finds out off screen, of course, that Vanessa was present during Charlotte's like death, and that she never told him what had happened there. And he kind of like says, "Well, you lied to me." It's like, okay, you're not dating her. You're friends, dude. Like,
and you haven't even given me your current ovulation for my journal where I keep track of it. It's like, what? That wouldn't even be okay if we were together.
yeah. So while all this is going on, Abby does kind of venture to the original Freddy's, where she does encounter the Marionette, and actually she encounters first the Toy Chica, because the Toy Chica is basically being controlled by Charlotte the Marionette. Vanessa tries to go and help her. This is all because of the fact that, you know, she's really looking for her friends. She starts to follow the speak and spell to the old Freddy's. And Toy Chica and the Marionette are basically one person. They kidnap Vanessa and basically force Vanessa to turn off all of the, like, I guess there's like some sort of grid or controls that keep the marionettes on the premises.
Sure. Yeah. And I do love that it's Chica, only from my research, because I'm like, fill me in internet, because I don't know what the kids, but apparently like Chica is a fucking fan favorite. So I'm not.
Apparently Toy Chica is totally a fan favorite. I didn't know that. But apparently that's the thing. And these animatronics look really spiffy. They're like the Iron Man versions of the animatronics.
Yeah, this is like Iron Man 3 level, like where Tony just hits like a little thing on his sweatshirt and his Iron Man suit comes out.
Yeah. These aren't like the old ones. So they're the high end ones. Like they're like Megan 2.0 level ones. But yeah, so all of the animatronics start to leave the Freddy's and start to cause a bunch of chaos. First off, Abby takes Toy Chica to her science fair, which I'm like, clearly that's not, you didn't make that.
No. And the thing is, like, okay, if Newman saw this, Professor Newman, so he'd be like,
Professor Newman.
Like, maybe I have completely like misread your skill set, and we should put this in the goddamn show. No, but instead he goes, hold on, let me see. Whoops. Just throws it across.
Well, he throws away, like, because Abby made at like Toy Chica and had helped Abby make like a miniature version, and that's when he destroys her robot the first time. She gets Toy Chica to come to the science fair, the life-size one, and no one seems to think like this. There's no way that this, like, what is she, like 14 years old at this point? 13, 14, give or take. There's no way a 13 or 14-year-old made an anthropomorphic animatronic like that on their own. And if they did, as you said, like,
they automatically win.
They would win. Like Newman would be like, yeah, no, that will absolutely make it so that we win the science fair in the local high school. Like, I like that sort of shit. He
would be super creepy with her in the same way that both the football coaches were super creepy with me.
What?
Yes. I'm glad you asked, Brian.
What?
I've always had very thick legs, and there's nothing creepier than your gym teacher, who's also football coach, coming up to you and going, so you going to try out for football next year? I'm like, why? So you got thick legs, John. You could be a power runner. Look at those legs. And I'm like, this is so unsettling. Why are you looking at me like this? But I decided to use it to my advantage and go, I'm going to try out for football next year, which allowed me to do whatever I wanted in gym class. Like, we would be playing, kickball, and then like I'd be, pitched to it, and then I would pick it up and I'd throw it into the guy's nuts who pitched it. And then the coach would be like, John, silly, knock it off. You know, meanwhile, I would be like normally just like, get detention for something like that. But then when I didn't try out, yeah, well, I guess the ogling of my legs stopped at that point. But
wow. I
yeah,
seriously had no idea that that happened to you. That's kind of disgusting.
well, I'll call him Teacher One. I won't say their names, but Teacher
Yeah,
One,
I wouldn't say their name. I
Teacher
don't want
One,
to sued.
yeah, Teacher One told Teacher Two, who was also one of the gym teachers, like kind of look at his legs, powerhouse. And I'm like, would you guys stop looking at me? Like, I feel
That's
so creepy right now.
That's kind of fucked up. Not
But
gonna lie.
long story short, Professor Newman should have been like, well, yeah, like they should have been kissing her ass like those guys were me because they thought I was going to be a fullback.
Yeah, yeah, but that's not what happened. Because Toy Chica kills Mr. Berg.
Yeah,
rips his head off. I think it was rip his head off. Again, we didn't see any of it because it's PG-13, and they will only show you so much.
We got another Winkler. We got Winklered.
What's a Winklered?
Which is I do mention that specifically because we have a movie with Skeet and what's his name? Both guys from Scream. The two killers.
Oh yeah.
And there was an adage by Harvey Weinstein. Whatever happened to him, by the way? When they were making Scream. Oh, really? Harvey? Oh, yeah. Seemed like such a nice guy to me. No, but when they were making that, Harvey said, I don't know if it was both of them, but at least Harvey said, there's been too long since there's been a kill. And so you need to just implement. And that's why out of nowhere, the principal, played by Henry Winkler in Scream, just gets murdered in his office out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. It's because Wes Craven was like, well, we're getting demands from the production company that there needs to be another murder in this movie. So anytime that there's just somebody killed because there hasn't been, or an action sequence because there hasn't been one in long enough for the younger audience, I just call it, they Winklered it.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, they set up Mr. Berg to be someone that absolutely should be killed off by them because they just made him a detestable human being. Yeah, someone who's mean to Abby. So yeah, when that happens, you're cheering in the audience for it. Like that's gonna happen.
And this has to be a movie that's made predominantly for 12-year-olds because only a 12-year-old could see the world this black and white. Because like his character is so over the toply, like simplistic and evil and dumb. Like only a 12-year-old sees the world that way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after all of this mayhem starts to occur, where are the other animatronics that got released? Well, I'll tell you. They start hunting parents. Like they're just killing parents left and right. Like
bipolar Freddy Kruegers.
Yeah. And like I thought that they were gonna go after the parents that like originally like ignored Charlotte, because I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. And I think they do that like once or twice in here, but they're just killing parents altogether. Like just whether they're tied to Charlotte's backstory or not, they're just going, yeah, if you're a parent, I'm gonna murder you.
Oh, my little pretty, there's an Elm Street in every town.
It's almost like that movie did it better. Because it did. But while this is going on, Vanessa confronts the possessed animatronics, and Mike battles older, withered animatronics back at Freddy's while tracking the toys remotely, because they all get this whole idea that Charlotte's like controlling all of these. So like if they're able to like break their signal or shit, then they can stop them, right? So Mike's doing that while Vanessa's confronting all these animatronics, trying to stop them from killing parents. And then Mike's also dealing with like the mangled animatronics that are also at Freddy's too.
Which, again, thanks to my research.
Thanks to your research of YouTube.
Because I didn't know. That's the game. It's like, why isn't there a door here? The game. And like him putting the hood of one of the animatronics on to confuse.
That's part of the game.
Yeah, that's part of the game. And it's like, yeah, I had to learn these things. That I had a feeling when he's like, why isn't there a door? I expected like a yakety schmackety bee. That's for the fans, So I had a feeling
Yakety
that's what that was.
schmackety bee.
I had a feeling that's what that was there for, and it turned out that I was right. But
Yeah.
yeah. So there you go, fans of the game. There's you're seeing the game in live action.
There you go. Well, the marionette hides inside of Toy Chica and then somehow possesses Abby. Because that had to happen. That had to happen, right? We had to see Abby get possessed.
Well, apparently she does in the books.
Okay.
Or whatever.
There we go. And then back at Mike's house, Mike apparently had a music box that actually belonged to
Here, take this random music box.
That belonged to Charlotte, that Charlotte's father had given Mike earlier in the movie. Kind of like, a puzzle box from Hellraiser, something like that. If you have the box, then the demons go away, right? Like
it's fucking Chekhov's music box. I wish that he had just given him like a bunch of other crap too that didn't help. It's like, hey, take this cigar box too. Here's some fine china and a slinky, and it's like, quick, we needed to stop the demons. It's like, oh, Slinky's not doing anything. Try the china. No, the forks aren't doing anything. Wasn't there a music box? Oh yeah, I'll try that.
It reminds me of? It reminds me of like Bart versus the Space Mutants from back in the 90s, like that NES game where you were given like a whole bunch of shit, like a spray can and all sorts of things.
Right over there.
Oh, do you have it? Do you have it?
You can't
right over there.
It's right over there ish.
Okay.
Behind my chair.
It reminds me of that, where like you're literally picking up a bunch of crap and it's like, yeah, somehow later in the game this crap is gonna come in handy. So it's like, here guy I just met 5 minutes ago, here's a music box that might do something. I don't know what it's gonna do, but you should have it now. And oh yeah, that's the one thing that can quell the vengeful spirit of Charlotte.
And only because you said that now, I have to just sidebar and say, only The Simpsons would be so popular. They go, let's make a Nintendo game, not just on The Simpsons, but it's also based on They Live.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bart Simpson is Roddy Piper. But,
yeah. So,
anywho,
while all this crazy shit is going on, because Abby's freed because of the, we'll call it Chekhov's lament configuration.
Yeah.
Michael, the creepy security guard from earlier, is actually revealed to be Michael Afton, William's son and Vanessa's brother. Dun 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 dun.
This is just the worst thing ever you can do in screenwriting.
How so?
Where you just introduce somebody for 2 minutes and then they go away the entire movie and go, it was me all along. Like, okay, we don't know you. You were just weird for a minute and now you're back. Like, you didn't earn anything there. It's like, okay, so it was you all along. Who cares? Who are you? You know, and I know that if you played the game, you know that that's the son of William and all that. But the thing is, also, if you played the game, you know that from the moment he goes, call me Michael. Yeah. For our visual audience, a little Dr. Evil reference there. So you already knew it. But if you didn't play the game, then it's just something that's completely and totally unearned. It's just crap. Mm-hmm. It's just bad screenwriting.
It is. I mean, I look at it as like, yeah, we had to see who the hell that guy was that was introduced earlier. So from that sense, I'm glad they did. But like, it just felt lazy in terms of like, of course that would be Vanessa's brother. And of course he would be continuing on the murderings. Because of course.
You need that character to be around the whole time, and then for him to do that thing goes like, well, thank God you were wearing your father's pocket watch when you got stabbed in the chest earlier. And he goes, how do you know I got stabbed in the chest? It's like, you just had to pry, didn't you? And it's like,
yeah,
you mean this character we've been following around all along? But no.
Yeah.
No, just bring him back at the end and go, I was the bad guy all along.
like, really, we knew. We saw you were the bad guy when
you were creepy and then left and then showed up again.
Yeah, it was like you had those. You literally said, "Here you go, Charlotte," and you basically gave those ghost hunters to the animatronics to die. Like, we know you're bad. It's not new. Like, you just gave us a little bit of insight of who you were and how you related to the other characters. So, okay, good job. Now, he wants to like kill everybody in there with the evil animatronics. But sure enough, because we had to have him show up, the original possessed children in the original animatronics from the first movie, they show up and they save the motherfucking day.
On your left.
Yes, it was an on your left moment. It was totally because earlier in the movie, Mike goes there and it's like, I don't know if you're all still here or not. They are.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
You're just, in fact, they should kill you.
They should kill you. You won't repair them, asshole. So it's like, yeah, we know they're there, but he did like a Hail Mary. If you're here, please come help us out. And sure enough, the last minute, they pull an on your left and they save the day. But here's the thing. It's one of those things where like, because they weren't designed to leave Freddy's, they shut down due to the safeguards. And yeah, creepy Michael escapes, but the children in the possessed animatronics get to go to, the afterlife.
Which they could have done. Which they get to go to the afterlife because they murdered people.
No, they get to go because I guess their mechanical bodies are no longer inside of Freddy's, and like they can go to heaven.
So he could have done that for them.
He could have
years ago.
Yes, okay. He could have. He could have given those kids like an afterlife instead of keeping them in purgatory, trapped inside of a moldy Chuck E. Cheese knockoff. He could have, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And yeah, the movie ends with the ha of finding out that Vanessa is actually possessed now by Charlotte. So
not just that. Remember, like one of the little kids is like, "Yeah, we can't stop Thanos now."
Yeah,
he's like, he's full form now. We can't stop him. It's like,
yeah,
what?
We don't know who that is. We don't know who they're talking about. But then
I think
the end credits,
William.
They do.
I didn't watch the post credit sequence. I didn't. So did you?
I mean, I did. It was just finding out that the spring trap, like whatever the fuck his costume was, the bunny one, that he's alive, or not alive, but just he's undead. He's possessing that thing now. So like that's the whole thing. Is like number 3 is gonna be him. So good. That means more Matthew Lillard.
Yeah, at least like Matthew gets a paycheck. Yeah,
he gets a paycheck. But that's Five Nights at fucking Freddy's too.
Just on the Matthew note, real quick.
Yeah,
we're wrapping up. Tobin Bell, man, talk about like a journeyman actor. And as much as I
play a game,
I hated those Saw movies. Like, I thought the first one was kind of like clever, but then like I just thought they just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I'm like, man, at least this journeyman actor Tobin Bell has just guaranteed himself his retirement from it. So, in that way, hey, good on him.
Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. I got nothing against actors who were really popular in the horror genre in the 90s, continuing to find work in 20, 30 years later. That's great. I think my question is just like, why is it these movies like these aren't good? Like, I'd like to see them in good movies, and I think that's why like you start to see like these people get recycled into the franchises that they used to be. Like, the I Know What You Did Last Summer having Freddie Prinze Jr. show up in it, and the Scream
Jennifer
7.
Hewitt.
Yeah, the Scream 7 gonna have Nev Campbell in it. So it's like we're gonna just recycle those folks and bring them in as legacy people for these new movies. And I'm like, that's great, they get a paycheck, but maybe put them in like new things. I don't know. Crazy concept there. But you ready to get to some reviews, John?
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
So for those of you who are unaware of how this works here, I have pulled 4 reviews from Letterboxd. John, you have not seen these, right?
Price Waterhouse rules. I've not seen them.
Okay, he's not seen them. So spoilers, majority of them are bad, but we're gonna run through and talk about them here. So let's go to review number 1. Shout out to the guy in the theater who kept dry humping his popcorn every time Toy Chica was on screen.
Ew. Okay. This could be taken one of two ways. What he could be being hyperbolic that the guy was like jumping in his seat because he loved Toy Chica, or if you want to go as dirty as possible, this guy cut a hole in his fucking popcorn bucket and was letting those sweet oils lubricate, those kernels. Just either way, it's just upsetting. Ew.
I mean, I know that people are fans, but I mean, come on. I don't get it.
Earlier in the run of this show, I used to Google like fan porn, and I'm not even going to do that for this one. I can't
do that.
Not even incognito. I can't have that on my conscience.
No,
because I'll have a heart attack while I'm looking at it, and they're gonna find what's the last thing he looked up? Chica porn. So, we're glad he's dead. The sick pervert.
That sick pervert was looking at Five Nights at Freddy's fan fiction. Oh God, that's so bad. Let's go to review number 2. What do you say?
All right.
Sometimes you really got to man up and tell your little sister that she can't be friends with the murder bots who tried to kill her last week. Yeah.
Look, brah, we all do weird shit, man, when we drink some Four Loko, brah. Yeah.
Bruh, your sister can't be talking to her invisible dead kid friends inside the murder robots.
Why not? Seems legit. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your sister doing, Mike? Oh, well, she still talks to those dead kids in the murder robots. You gonna get her some help? No. She's good. I'm trying to get another female in the house by trying to weasel my way into a relationship with an equally traumatized person. Because I think having someone who's of the female persuasion in my house might help. Just so happens she's also dealing with the trauma of dead murdering children.
It's like Lydia being friends with Beetlejuice in the animated show.
Yeah.
It's don't you remember what he did?
It's you remember that time he tried to marry you and trapped your parents?
Yeah.
Remember that time he tried to kill your friends, the Maitlands? Remember that time?
We don't mention the Maitlands in the cartoon.
We don't mention
there were no Maitlands.
There were no Maitlands. Yeah. All right, let's go to review number 3. As someone that has no prior experience with this franchise, these movies are just absolute nothing burgers, but at least this one has Newman.
It's had to I bet this was a younger person that did this review, which is surprising. They don't know the game at all, because Nothing Burger seems to be what the kids are saying these days.
Is that what the kids are saying now? Is Nothing Burger?
For me, kids is anywhere from 28 to 5. I don't, I'm that
enough.
old, so I don't. Yeah. But I've heard, around the college campus, the Nothing Burgers thing. And
I'm on that same college campus, and I haven't heard Nothing Burger. But granted, I'm teaching night classes. You're teaching day classes. So
and I'm hip with students, bro. I'm like the Dead Poet Society teacher. Okay, we meet up in a tree and read poetry.
We meet up at Saxby and drink our coffees, and we lament about poetry in the snow.
We all read our Five Nights at Freddy's 2 fanfic to each other.
I call this poem Toy Chica's Lament. Oh, geez. All right, let's get to review number 4, our last one of the episode. The more people say it's for the fans, the more you know it's probably not very good, but I am happy for y'all. Yeah, that's the fallback of a terrible movie. It's for the fans,
I saw somebody talking about it online. It's where it's the first one, you could piece it together if you've never played the games, which you and I did, but this one was very, very fan service. And the person was predicting that the next one is going to be nothing nothing but fan service. And as I mentioned, there are YouTube people in these movies that, based a lot of their YouTube channels on Five Nights at Freddy's, let's play reviews, commentaries, fan speculation kind of thing. One of the killer animatronics in this was voiced by Matt Pat, who used to have, well, the channel's still there, Film Theory. He just doesn't host it any longer. I don't know what he's doing. Doesn't concern me. But he did a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's video game theory, because that was the first channel he did. And he did Film Theory and all this stuff. That's where I know him from. And he played the waiter in the restaurant in the first film, talking about how important lunch was. And this one, he was the voice of one of the characters. And that's because they knew the audience were going to be like, who probably watch these videos on Five Nights at Freddy's as much as they play the game. So they're going to go, oh, that's Matt Pat from YouTube, or that's that guy from, TikTok, so it's riddled with those kind of Easter eggs in there. So it's going to be, it's my long story long. It's just going to become more and more just fan service for those that are obsessed with every intricate detail of the games. And the casual audience is going to be pushed out even further.
I mean, the only thing I will go back on is that I at least felt that this movie was not as out there in the ethos of the game as the other one was. Like if you remember, the last one had like the weird, like whole dream shit. Like, do you remember that? Like where Mike was like traveling in his dreams and encountering the dead children and all that shit. And I'm like, that stuff is totally from the game. Whereas this one, for me at least, felt a bit more formulaic to a traditional horror movie. It just was a traditional horror movie stretched over the cold animatronic body of Freddy Fazbear.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of what it felt like to me. And like I definitely was following this one a little bit more than I was the last one, where the last one was like a lot of fucking lore. And I'm like, I don't fucking know what the hell is going on, which that one I really think was for the fans because it was the first one. It was like, hey, we're going to throw this at you. So much so that they put Matt Pack as someone who we visually could see them. Right. Whereas this time around, he's just a voice. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I when someone does say, "Oh, it's for the fans," that kind of is like the last gasp of a terrible movie. You can't just rely on it's for the fans because you never grow beyond that. And if you're just okay with, this movie just pays fan service and that's it, like fine, but like no one's gonna be remembering Five Nights at Freddy's 2 in like 10 years.
Well, I'll be interested to see what your student has to say, in the sense of they clearly are a fan because they asked us to do the first one and they asked us to do this one. But even after our take,
he told me he liked this one at more than the last one. He told me that.
But it's interesting, the idea that like after our take of not being fans of the game of the first one, that he still wanted you to come back and still give your take on the second.
He just liked he loves our show, and he just wanted to hear our take on it because it's fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Which, hey, again, you too can have John and Brian review a shitty fucking movie of your choice. Just join our Discord channel, and links in the show notes. And you too can give us a shit film that we have to review.
Oh, please not batteries included or batteries not included or Buckaroo Banzai. Please don't.
Please
don't
not
those movies.
Please not. What about Bob?
Yeah,
not that one. No, not that.
I
never
couldn't imagine what a horrific nightmare we would live in.
Oh,
please no Weekend at Bernie's or Weekend at Bernie's too.
I think we did. Didn't we do that one? I think we did that one.
I think we just mentioned it.
I think we mentioned it as a
T-Rex.
You know what it was we mentioned that one during like summer movies. I think that was why we. As it is. Awesome. Well, final thoughts, John, on Five Nights at Freddy's before we close this one out.
I have find this fascinating as much as I have not enjoyed either viewing experience. I have found it fascinating to jump headfirst into the deep end of a lore I know nothing about and trying to piece a puzzle together for both of these movies of being like, what is this? Is this part of the game? Like, why is this so loved? Like, can I figure this out? So it's been piecing a puzzle together. It's been like a mystery to me. So I've kind of enjoyed it in that sense, even though I've not enjoyed the viewing experience.
It's almost like a puzzle box, one that kind of is a musical box too, and can ward off demons.
Yeah.
Ward off demons too, like, it kind of quells them, keeps them at bay, like a lament configuration would, or a music box like in this universe. My thoughts are really just like, I was expecting not a whole lot from this movie. I was overall just kind of meh. I didn't hate it. A lot of things for me didn't make a whole lot of sense, but as John, as you had mentioned, this movie isn't for us, and that's okay. My stepson, he saw this movie. He told me he really liked it, and like I asked him, I'm like, "What'd you like?" He's like, "I just liked it because it was his, something he grew up with." So in that sense, that's a success. I'm glad that they're making this for the fans because, hey, any entertainment's better than nothing. I mean, I mentioned that in the comments of the Dracula episode where people were surprisingly really loving that movie, and I'm like, you know what? I personally thought it was dog shit, but if you enjoyed it for 2 hours,
yeah,
and you weren't irritated and bored, and you got enjoyment out of it, well, good for you. We need that nowadays. We need those brief moments of forgetful happiness amidst the hellscape that is the current world we live in. And with that said, John, where can they find you at on the internet?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Facebook, Instagram. I'm gonna try this year to get more involved in Goodreads and Letterboxd. I'm terrible with everything, but especially social media. And over at JDub's Video Nasties, things are actually starting to cook. The water's about to boil, so I'm gonna be throwing the ingredients in, and you should get some stuff soon.
Awesome. Of course, if you have loved this episode, please do me a favor and share it. Share it with your friends. Share it with your favorite Five Nights at Freddy's fan. Seriously. They might get irritated by it, think that me and John are a bunch of millennial douchebags, but hey, that's okay. Because, hey, a listen's a listen. Of course, if you want to, you can follow our podcast on your favorite podcast player of choice by going to cinemapsychoshow.com/follow. Click that link. Boom, and you'll see buttons right there for your favorite podcast apps. Just click them, and boom, you're following us so you never miss an episode. And of course, if you are watching us here on YouTube, hey, do me a favor. Click that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, hit the little bell, and let us know down in the comments, what did you think of Five Nights at Freddy's 2? And with that said, we'll see you next time.
I got nothing. Nothing at all.